So here is one thing for certain. If you are struggling to manage your gifts, the first thing I'd probably come to conclude is that you fear them. Because in order for us to be able to in order for us to be able to manage the gifts, we for one have to know what gifts we possess. And at times, we don't know all that we're gifted with because we fear the power of the gift. And so that'd probably be my first conclusion, just about, based off what you're saying. Like, you need to learn how to manage it. You have a lot to learn. My first question is, do you fear? What is it that you fear? Whatever the fear is, there's a block. That is the block, right? Whatever the fear is a block. It's stopping you from actually getting more in depth with the gift. Because, right, when I spoke about, when I was younger or whatever, and not knowing that I was gifted, obviously it was because I was younger. And there are some things that I believe most gifted people deal with or have, say, in childhood. When I was younger, I was tested for gifted and talented, right? Or I think it's gifted and talented, right? Yeah, whatever, gifted and talented. I was tested for that when I was in elementary. I always excelled in school, unless I just wasn't applying myself. But so that's something that I would say, there are certain characteristics, certain traits that we all possess somewhere or another. There's high intelligence in your DNA. You get what I'm saying? There's some level of high intelligence. And if you do not know, say, any blockages, or there's another way I want to say this. Okay. So highly intelligent people are the gifted and talented, right? And not saying that people that are not highly intelligent are not gifted. I'm not saying that. I am saying that these are just key traits or characteristics that you can pinpoint to know that you are gifted. And so when you talk about managing the gifts, one thing I would definitely question is your desire to know yourself. Because when we are, say, somehow or another scattered, right, not able to manage, not able to organize even ourselves, right, compartmentalize even, right, it's to some degree a fear. You have a fear of knowing yourself on a deeper level, and with imperfections as well, right? And so when I speak about highly intelligent people being the gifted and talented, you know what I'm saying? This is also your ability to perceive things on a higher level. It's your ability to even predict the future. It's your ability to see outcomes while people are still processing the now, and that's, again, you're like a computer. You're operating 10 times faster, than the average person. As you're processing information, you are, or rather, as some people may just be hearing information, you're listening to that information, and you're processing that data, and you are recognizing patterns. There's just so much, say, intellect for the gifted person, which makes it hard to manage, right? Where you may feel overwhelmed with the amount of data that you're processing. So compartmentalization is one of the things I would definitely recommend. And also, too, like I said, fear is a block. So coming up, I don't know, for me personally, being super smart, right? You kind of want to dim your light. I did, at least, right? Because you want to fit in, right? You don't want to be the super smart girl. You don't want to be the know-it-all, right? So yeah, you try to fit in. But that fear is also of being seen. So even as you're compartmentalizing this information, you may dim your light. You may withhold information. You may sink, within yourself. You may shrink within yourself. You may downplay yourself. You may even downplay your gifts, and that's because you have a fear of being seen. And that being seen could be tied to being highly intelligent. So fear is a block, and not knowing how to compartmentalize is another. So yeah, that's what I would start with. Obviously too, you can click the link in my bio for one-on-one coaching to learn how to do those things, because obviously it comes with time. I've actually had to go through some things to acquire that wisdom, but fear, tackling the fear and learning to compartmentalize. This would start with emotions before relationships, okay? Because once you learn how to compartmentalize emotions, learning to compartmentalize relationships and even data is a breeze, okay? So start there. And of course, one-on-one available in my link in my bio. You can grab that. I'll help you get further. Bye.